traveler.
I have no time for games.
The end is coming! Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
You require my assistance? Bingo! We're gonna be rich.
Good evening, everybody! It is Thursday, and you all know what that means. Yes, it does mean we are one day closer to Friday, but no, it means we are here for another special, rousing episode of Tavern Talk from Team Heart Legends. I am one of your hosts, JRJuggerlaw, here with my band of American/Canadian followers. Of course, as always, we have the wonderful, friendly, and voted best Canadian in THL by somebody. Saku, how are you doing, Saku?
What's going on, guys? How's things?
And of course, we for the second week in a row, this time taking in the OP role, we have Amberflight Gaming's very own Doctorfeesh. How are you doing, Mr. Feesh? Very good.
Twice.
And this week we have our second of our recurring guests for the remainder of the season. Last week we had the lovely Isocles, and this week it's Khell. Khell, how are you doing today?
Doing good. It feels good to be back on a THL talk show. It's been a while.
Now, big question here. How much have you caught up on Legacy since we last spoke to you?
I did some research.
Okay.
Yes, so we had a slower day this afternoon at work, and I went through and kind of looked at past weeks. There are definitely some players I don't recognize who are doing well, and I'm excited to talk about it.
So you're ready, though?
I am ready.
You better be. All right. But we are officially now in week 6 of the season, which means after this week, there will only be 3 more weeks of the regular season before we get to playoffs, and we're starting to see a lot of stuff shaping up. A lot of teams solidifying their positions for really looking like they're very close to being guaranteed for playoffs. But the standings are extremely close. It's very hard to say how things are going to play out. So we're definitely excited to cover all of the best stuff from last week and all the exciting stuff we have to look forward to this week. All right? So let's get right to it, shall we? So we will be starting off with the Gold Conference, as always.
I think that's my cue.
And
Khell.
yes, Khell,
Take it away, Khell.
All right, so we have our defending
tell
champion,
us what we got here.
HSA, versus a team that I don't recognize the name of, but has a lot of familiar players, which is Drop Table Teams. I believe this is the equivalent of this team in Hero would be NPH, right?
Yep, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we had our based board member here, going 4-0 in the 1 seed, a 3-1 over Agent PWE. Bases on the board. It's obviously rigged. Kappa. Then we had 2-star Mako losing to No Glocko in the 2 seed, 2-3. Very close game. We had Ghost beating Pasca, and I would consider this an upset myself here. Getting his first win in the season, which is awesome for him, winning over 3-1. Then we have Boozosaurus winning 3-2 over Mojo Powell in the 4. And we have Duin continuing his undefeated streak in the 5 seed against Snake Fods. How is Snake Fods a 5 seed, by the way? I just have to throw that out there. He wins 3-2, and so HSA takes the week 18-10.
See, Khell, I gotta say, I feel like you should put your head down in shame a little bit because this was your team from last season.
That's true.
I was waiting for you to make a comment on that. What happened?
Wait a minute. My team from last season? Hold on.
Yeah, didn't you play on Redacted last season of Legacy?
Oh, yes, I did.
Because I was going to say, I think the only change to this roster was Mojo Powell took your spot.
You know what? That looks correct, actually. Wait.
Yeah, they just
Glocko,
changed their name.
I was going to say, I remember
Glocko
all
too,
these
right?
guys from your team last season, except for Mojo Powell.
You're right, actually. That is correct. I still don't understand how Snake Fods is a 5 seed. That guy is crazy good in the 5. But
You're far from the first person to say that, trust me.
But Duin is just putting up numbers, I guess, so.
For the record, Duin just hit standard legend for the first time last month. I think this was a few days ago, and he was like even saying now people can't say I haven't hit legend before.
There you go.
Like now that running
now.
joke is still going to be a thing, you know. Like how is he still a 5 seed? But like now at least he at least hit the legend mark finally. But yeah, HSA continuing to put up numbers. They're killing it. They are, they've won the first half of their matches. I'm very curious to see how they end up faring with the second half.
Yeah. These teams are really close in the points too. So, I mean, it looks like it was going into it anyway. It was a pretty even matchup, but HSA just showing their dominance here, going 4-1 this week, or this past week rather. So.
Right. And before we move on, I'll just say, even though their points are close, it is important to keep in mind Drop Table Teams has played 5 matches and HSA has only played 4 because of the bye situation for the season.
Aha, fair enough.
Yeah, so
Yes.
HSA is way ahead.
Yeah, they're killing it right now. But moving on to match 2, we have Dad Legend versus SPG, aka Saranite Paying Gang. I know I should have said that in reverse, but who cares? Saku, take it away.
All right, so we got Honest Abe beating Rescue Wabbit 3-2 for his first win, I believe, in Legacy Series, so that's good for him. Get that monkey off his back. We got Myanodon defeating Black Swan, aka Shadow Ranger. Your Mum Kid losing to THL Loomer 2-3. Yellow Dart defeating Darkseed 3-1, and then Clarity beating Swashbuckler 3-1 as well. So a big outing by DL. Kind of needed a big win to kind of catch up on the standings.
Yeah,
They're struggling quite a bit, but as long as Honest is getting a couple wins under his belt, I think they'll be a pretty good contender. I think so.
Yeah, this was definitely a pretty big win for them. Dad Legend, of course, they've had some rough starts, but they're overall doing pretty decently. I think, I agree with you. Once Abe starts really, getting those consistent wins, I think this team is just going to, they could easily find themselves in a position of dominance.
Yeah. And Yellow Dart is typically he's above 500 player as it is.
He does not
anyway.
deserve, he should not be in the 4 seed. That is wrong.
Yeah.
But then again, neither should your Mum Kid. So whoever's in the 4 seed on that team, it's just going to be a pretty absurd.
Yeah.
Having a 376 PR 4 seed seems kind of absurd.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it is. I remember when we saw this original roster, we were kind of thinking that it was like, oh my god, that's just ridiculous. Like, what's going on here? Because but it mainly comes down to the fact that they originally picked up Clarity with 50 PR, so that helped them a lot with making room.
That definitely helps.
But this is like a pretty ideal PR makeup. And as for Saturday Night Pangang, I really do think this is a strong team, but I think it's just not really coming together for them this season. So I'm hoping they could turn around, but it's not looking good for them, sadly.
I don't remember how many games are left in the season.
They're already halfway through, so that's what really makes it tough.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're on our 5th week.
I think Hero has 7 weeks, right? So
Yeah, there's-
Legacy has what
10.
9, I
Nine?
think?
Nine.
Legacy has 9, but everybody's
weeks.
playing 8 matches because it's an odd number. So
Yeah.
every team gets a
Gotcha.
bye. So like we'll talk about like the team. We'll mention like which teams have the buys this week. But like for last week it was Good Luck Albatrosses and Chaos Theory. That were the teams that had the buys, if I remember correctly. So that's what happens when you have like an odd number at each conference. But moving on, we will now talk about the Hot Zilfs taking on Diamond's Alley Cats. The Zilfs, very much on a similar track to how they were last season, and that's not a bad thing at all. These guys continuing to show that they are really strong, and they put up a huge week against the Alley Cats, 18-9. Coles, Rabobson, Donde, and Anvil all winning their matches. Jim Philos was the only person to get a loss against 8-Bit. And I mean, Diamond's Alley Cats, strong team. They've had the last couple weeks have definitely been rough for them. But I think they can make it back. I think they can definitely turn things around. There's still time in the season. They're definitely going to want to win at least 2 of the next 3 matches left. So hopefully they'll pull something together. Rabobson, it should be also be noted, we were talking about this before, Rabobson was coming into this week was prepared to once again get to the 550 PR cap that he's been trying to get to, but that did not happen, and we will talk about that more a little later.
Yeah,
But,
we will.
yeah, Zilfs, they lost week 1, and once again they haven't lost since then. These guys are. I would be very surprised if they don't make the playoffs. I feel very confident saying, even with all the steep competition in gold, I think by the time we get to the very end, they're going to be basically guaranteed. Like, they still have some tough opponents to face, but I feel really good about their chances.
Bold. That's some bold sauce.
Anything you guys want to add?
Diamond almost got his first win last week.
I was going to say, yeah, he keeps getting close.
Yeah, and that's a really tight
3-2
match
is
with a really
perfect.
good player.
Yes, Anvil is arguably one of the best 4 seeds right now.
Shout out
Like, his
to
PR
Anfall.
doesn't reflect it, but I think he's one of the best.
Mhm.
Having had Anful on my team before, I can confirm that man is a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost to him last season in Hero. It was an extremely close match. But he played very well. I can't take that away from him. Nor do I want to.
There you go.
All right, moving on to the final match of gold from last week. Pod People versus Dustubs.
All
Mr.
right.
Feesh, all you.
Okay, so overall the match we have a 15-12 win for the Pod People, and they won 3-2 in matches. We have our hat taking a 3-2 match over Snake. We have Zeroshio getting a 3-1 win over Ted. We have Oz picking up his first win of the week. That is a recurring theme that we will see throughout this recap. His players getting their first wins.
Yes.
We have Starlax taking a 3-1 over Karufinwi. We have, and then Quaz in the 5 taking the win over Black Magic, who was once again subbing in for the Pog People.
You mean the Pog person known as Saku.
Yeah, definitely. We have
Sub for me because
Yeah.
he wasn't sure on power, so he just made an executive decision to kick me off the team for a minute.
Yeah, that's
But still keep you on for moral support, because
of course.
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, so
Yeah, I do find it funny that there were some big names that got some first wins this week. So
Mhm.
definitely, sorry about that. Continue, Feesh.
No, I was gonna say, just looking at how this played out, I really wasn't 100% sure either way, because I mean, a lot of these players especially Zoroshio versus Ted. I was expecting a close match, and it probably was close. It just fell Zoroshio's way. We do not see the Paladin respect ban from Ted. So he must have felt that Priest was a much bigger problem for his lineup. And Zoroshio got his Paladin, and he probably got a win on it. Well, he did, guaranteed.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Zoroshio and Paladin is like peanut butter and jelly at this point.
Yep.
Zoroshio and Paladin is like Khell and Priest.
Khell and Priest.
Wicked
You know
Good
what?
and Priest.
I'll give that to you because you're not wrong. I will give that to you.
I don't know who's the bigger priest player. It's either Wicked Good or yourself, Kel. I'm trying to determine. You guys
I
got
think
mad hours in there.
I think I like Priest more. I think Wicked Good is better at it than I am.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's also worth mentioning this was the only match in gold from last week that was not a 4-1 in match score.
Yeah.
I just noticed that.
Yeah, you're right.
This was the only one that was actually close, which is crazy because, like, you know, when you look at some of these matchups, I did not expect these to seem to look so one-sided. Maybe like not even Dad Legend versus Serenite Pain Gang, because despite their struggles, Dad Legend hasn't exactly been like on the hottest streak, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
So,
I didn't expect this much 4-1s out of the gold.
but I'm very happy to see pod people thriving right now. I do love the stubs and I want to see them bounce back, but
Yeah.
this is just such a stacked conference full of teams I really want to see succeed that it's like, you know, not everybody's going to do that well, unfortunately.
Definitely.
So I'm excited to see how this is going to continue to develop with the remaining
games.
4 weeks that we have. So
Mhm.
moving on to the Red Conference, we will be starting off with ATL versus Chop. Khell, this one's yours.
All right, so we have ATL taking a week 17-9. Pretty decisive victory here. So Ron Mexico picks up the win against Liquid Ox in the 3-1. A2 Battleship loses to Markshire 1-3. Pond, also known as Free Hong Kong now, picks up a win against Durden. Matty Ebbs picks up a win in the 4 against Scritch, and Shunsui picks up a win in the 5 against Sharkbait. I will say, I think the match that most surprises me here is Run Mexico beating Liquid Ox. Not that Run Mexico is a bad player by any means or anything, but if I'm looking at this on paper, I'm expecting Ox to come out on top there.
Yep.
So I would say that if this was like a couple seasons ago, I would have said it was really too hard to call. I wouldn't have felt one was favored over the other. But I would definitely say after how far Liquid Ox has come and how much he's become like a force within like the streaming community and like a very much more recognized player, I would definitely agree with you on that. So I think it's a matter of timing at this point.
Yeah. The other match that I think could have potentially gone the other way, I would say, is Pond versus Durden. I could definitely see a world where Durden takes that match.
Yes. Actually, I was going to say that, and also I think Matty Ebbs versus Scritch was pretty even, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with
Both
both
those
of
guys are very strong in the 4.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, I think A2 he's been doing very well this season, but definitely I wasn't surprised that he kind of came across a roadblock with Markshire just because he's arguably one of the best 2 seeds in all of Legacy right now. Like,
yeah,
I'm kind of shocked his PR isn't 550 because it should be.
he's getting there. He's above 500
He's getting
now.
there, but like,
Yeah.
right. But it's like, that man is like, that man could easily be in the 1 seed.
Oh,
like,
100%.
Without a doubt. He's just that good.
Yeah.
Very talented player and also one of the mainstays of THL over the past like several years. So, you know, happy to see him back in Legacy for sure.
Yeah.
I said last week that this was going to be, I felt, a very make or break week for ATL because last season they got off to a very hot start, but then faltered for the majority of the remaining season. So I'm not saying they're definitely going to make playoffs or something, but to me, looking at the fact that everybody in this team is either 3-2 or 2-3 tells me that like these guys have a really good shot if they can just keep up any of that momentum. So
Yeah.
Yeah, ATL is
Very
killing
close.
it this season so far. So
They all have winning
They're
records.
definitely looking strong.
They all have winning records besides Ron. And as we see,
And even then, Ron won the last
and
2
as
weeks.
yeah, as we see Ron on a 2-game win streak, he's heating up, and that's good. That's good for ATL. And also to note, well, I guess we'll see it later on, but there is a seed change in this between A2 and Pawn.
Yeah.
Pawn moves to the 2 now.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how that's going to change this week. But moving on, next up we have Amber Flight Gaming versus Dirty Mike and the boys. This one was easily the most interesting match of last week, and I'm not just saying that because Feesh is here. This I have not seen a match. I think it's been a while since I've seen a match like this. But actually, no, this did happen once last season. But this, as you can see, every single match of this series went to 5 games. And
Yeah.
even though Amber Flight Gaming took 4 out of the 5 matches, that's still like 12 points from Dirty Mike and the boys is nothing to sneeze at.
Right.
So I'm pretty happy for them. Dirty Mike and the boys, both of these teams are still very much in contention, but I feel like for Amber Flight Gaming, this was just a huge win for them to really put them above and beyond, like in the standings. They haven't had their bye yet, so I'm very curious to see how that is going to turn out. But yeah, everybody except for Christine picked up a win.
Yeah,
And Doctorfeesh, our man over here, finally picking up his win, finally ending that losing streak that should have ended a while ago, but it's all right.
yeah.
No, but seriously, we're all very happy for you that you got a win. Not only of your first win, but also a win against Lefty. Frickin' Lefty.
Seasoned veteran.
Who, by the way, does not belong in the 5 seed
No.
at all. That is absurd that he is in the 5 seed. So honestly, that many more props to you for picking up that win. Like, damn.
Yeah, thanks.
Holy crap.
And I
mean, Feesh, what do you want to say about this one?
So, I have to say that, like, I think one thing that really helped our team out was seeing that Neji had beaten Fuel before. Like, Neji versus Fuel was the first match of the week. Seeing that Neji got the win was, like, kind of a good boost. I think for everybody, including myself, where I was just like, all right, I wasn't worried about my match. I was like, whatever happens, happens. If I win, that's awesome. And yeah, I was just super happy with my performance. I was super happy to see pretty much everybody. Christine's last match was a Bomb Warrior mirror, and it came down to each person having 5 health, and she drew the bomb first. So we could have easily seen a 5-0 for my team, for Amber Flight. And this win, just looking in the Discord, it seems like it's really gotten some people actually talking about our team. I mean, it's nice, obviously, that people are saying, hey, look, this team's actually doing pretty well. But we just have to keep it going. And it's not going to be easy this week at all. JR and I will tell you about that later.
We'll have more for you after the break.
After the break.
No, but I think I said this a couple weeks ago that with you guys, I thought it was very impressive that you guys got 2 wins in like the first couple weeks, despite the fact that like neither you nor Christine picked up a win during those weeks. You know, you guys, to me, it's like once you and Christine start picking up that momentum, it's like you're just like smooth sailing from there, you know?
Oh, definitely.
It's like you guys are just going to be very intimidating. And I think that's what really kicked off from last week, you know, not just because you picked up a win, but also 18 points. That's a big week. I'm actually surprised at how many teams this week picked up 18 points.
Yeah, I am too.
5 out of the 8 matches were 18.
The winning team had 18. It's kind of insane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I'll look forward to talk about our match a little later.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have Defias Brotherhood versus the Blood Bloomers, Doctorfeesh.
All right. So, hot off the heels of my spicy 5-0 prediction, Blood Bloomers had a pretty underwhelming performance. The only person on the team picking up a win being Medusis or Starkey down in the 5 seed, with sweeps coming in 3 positions for Defias. Easy Bake, Comp, and Nebkinook all taking sweeps. It's quite shocking to see that G-Kick suffered a sweep.
G-Kick especially, yes.
Yeah, G-Kick especially, and then Adamos or Adamos, however you want to say it. The operating system fell to Clone. So it's really quite awesome to see Defias picking up steam, and they're 3-1, and they've beaten Blood Bloomers and they've beaten Amberflight Gaming in the last couple of weeks. So really good on them.
They're actually the only team in red that has that hasn't lost at least twice right now.
Yeah,
which is really interesting to me.
And they haven't had their bye yet.
No,
sorry. They have had their bye. So their points.
They're 3-1.
So their points their points look low, but they're not. But they're in just a fine position where they are right now.
Very much so. Yes.
So I'm
definitely. But I was very surprised by this,
right
mostly
now.
for the fact that Sanguine and Ator, they played against. We played against the Blood Bloomers the week before. I swept Ator. I got very fortunate in our matches.
Yeah.
And Sanguine lost to Marty. I really felt like this was going to be the week that they were going to pick up some momentum.
Yeah, I did too.
And just try to bounce back from that. So I was very surprised that not only did both of them lose, they both got swept along with G-Kick. Oh man, you don't see even in instances where a team loses 4 out of 5 matches, they usually manage to put up more points than 5. So it's really unfortunate that that's how it played out.
Yeah, and especially for a team that looked really good early on in the season, they were keeping up with ATL in the points department. And with this week, they just kind of flattens them because they are at 65 points after 5 games played. They do. We'll mention later, but they have the bye this week, so hopefully this week gives them a chance to regroup and refocus and come back strong. Week 7.
It will be interesting to see how things play out for them next week. So they're definitely not out of it. It's just that when you're when you're not in a good position when you compare yourself to the teams that have already had their buys, and you see these teams are probably going to pass them. It's not great.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. Anyway, moving on. Annoyo team versus IDK.
Dilly.
Saku, take it away, my man.
Just say it. I'm like
Dilly.
Oy vey.
Oy vey.
I'm feeling especially Jewish tonight after this one.
Oh, me too.
So we got Amaj with a 3-0 win over Plants. Catharsis losing 1-3 to Marty B. Mad at Arms getting swept by JR. So keeping his record spotless so far. That's good.
We'll talk about that a little bit more later.
Yeah. So yes, Z-Thund defeating Swelly 3-2, and then Tostino's Pizza defeating Jerry Damage 3-1. Super close match by the looks of it.
This was very close. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The 3-0s started off each other.
Where Swelly got reverse swept by Z-Thund.
Yep.
I think he's going to pick up his win this week. He's been getting better and better. Both of his losses have been to strong 4 seeds, that being Z-Thund and G-Kick.
Oh yeah.
And those both went to 5 games. So I think this week, we'll talk more about it. I think this is going to be his week. And then I swept Matt to take it. Then Marty beat Catharsis. So then either Jerry or Plants needed to win to win it for us. Jerry unfortunately couldn't pull it off against Totino's Pizza, who I don't think should be in the 5 seed personally.
Probably not.
I really don't. I've played him in Hero. The guy is really good. But he lost, so then it came down to Plants versus Amage. If Matt at Arms is in the chat, we were talking to each other. Basically, they had planned a match at Sunday night, around 10 p.m. And I thought, okay, no big deal. I'm sure Plants knows what he's doing. It's fine. And unfortunately, we were waiting for him to come up, to be available. We couldn't get in touch with him. And they waited. Amage waited as long as one reasonably would in that circumstance, and took the win. He was very respectable about it. It was it's a Sunday night. I can't expect you to stay to wait an hour for somebody or something. So that was that. And then I found out, unfortunately, that Plants had passed out and slept through his alarms.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah.
Fun
Okay.
fact, I did the exact same thing when I was supposed to play Itachi in the Legacy semifinals one season. Except I didn't have alarms. I just passed out and woke up at like 3 a.m. and realized, shit, I have to take a DQ loss. It is not a good feeling.
Oh, I can't imagine that's a good
It does
feeling.
happen though.
But I don't think like anything should be like leveled against Plants. He's a paramedic / EMT. He works very long hours. I applaud the man for what he does for a living. And just sometimes that means that Hearthstone kind of has to go on the back burner when
Backseat. Yep. Exactly.
when real life goes there. But I felt really bad because I was like, I felt so sure that he was going to pick up that win. Like, a mage is a great player, but I felt like, Plants is finally starting to get back on, back in there. It wasn't meant to be. Hopefully this week we're going to turn it around. But definitely a depressing way to end the week for us, I will say.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
But that ends the recaps from week 5. We are now going to go into our commercial break. Khell, would you like to do us the honors?
Sure, I can do that. I'm gonna do it a little different though.
You're free to do that.
All right, cool. So thank you everybody who is here watching. Keep in mind that we have shows on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So this coming week, I believe I will actually be on Saloon this coming week. So make sure you check that out. Next week, Tavern Talk. I'm not sure the guest is, but I will be on the week after that.
That is correct.
Isocles will be in this week.
So Isocles.
Yes, Isocles. We might have a guest. We're still going to figure out the details, but bear with us.
Yeah. And then Friday Night Fights, we've got some matches coming up. We are still looking for a 9 p.m. EST match. So if you are interested, please make sure to get with our main man Saku here, so that we can get that on stream, because everybody likes more content, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And speaking of more content, make sure you check out the website. There is written content that goes up as well. And Saturdays we have Schoolstone as well. So if you have that Twitch Prime available, please throw it at us. Or if you feel like you can afford to sub, we really appreciate it. If not, we just appreciate everybody being here, being active in chat. It's always a lot more fun when we have people in chat to talk to. So give us those opinions, those hot takes, ask those questions.
Oh yeah.
But we really appreciate
like
everything.
Fuel's a bum. That's a hot take according to Saku, right? Fuel's a bum.
Yeah, that's true. But obviously, we have Discord, which I'm pretty sure everybody involved in THL is in the Discord. But we do also have Twitter, which is at THL_HS. Obviously, there's a website. Those of you who play in THL are familiar with it, teamhearthlegends.com. There is now a THL Power Rankings podcast. I actually listened to it this week, and it's very interesting. There's a lot of there's a lot of back end stuff that kind of goes into how they do that, and it's really interesting. So if you have a chance, definitely check that out. But no, if you can't afford to sub or drop some bits or anything like that, even just following, that's all we ask. Just drop a follow. That way we know you're interested. Keeps us going.
Side note, though, speaking of rankings, Hearth Center this week just did their first set of player rankings for the season, because after week 4 is when they start doing, or after everybody's played at least 4 matches, they do rankings for the top 10 players, and there's a whole ranking system for it. Talk to Donde if you want to know more about it, but it's definitely exciting if you want to see like what the records look like, what the rankings look like in all 4 series. So give that a look if you want to give the most recent episode of Hearth Center a look if you want to, get a sense of what's going on there.
On our YouTube channel, so check that out.
Yes, or you can check out the Twitch VOD, whichever your preference.
I will say, we need stuff to spend channel points on. We gotta get on that.
That's true.
Yeah, someone will get.
That's true.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, Saku's got it.
But yes, so now we move on to week 6 predictions. We will be starting with the Gold Conference, and we'll be starting with Hearthstone Academy versus Pod People. Mr. Feesh, sorry, Doctorfeesh, even though you're not actually a doctor. Care to start us off?
Sure, I got you. So match 1, we have Hearthstone Academy versus the Pod People. So in the one, we have a star-studded 1 seed match. We have Based versus Hat, and you're not gonna want to miss that one on Sunday Night Showdown. It's gonna be an incredible match. We have 2 seeds, 2 Sarmako versus Zoroshio, Ghost versus Wicked Good, Boozosaurus versus Starlax, and Duin versus Saku. So, I'll run down quickly my predictions. I have. This is so tough. I have no clue how to pick this first match. Honestly, either one can win. I kind of just did a coin flip, and it landed on Based. So, Based in the one. The real winner of that match is going to be the people who get to see the VOD. I'm picking Zoroshio in the 2, Wicked Good in the 3, Booze in the 4, and Duin in the 5. I'm sorry, Saku. I love you.
I mean, I love an excuse to pick Saku, but this is not that week.
Yeah, so I'm picking overall. That's 3-2 HSA.
That's a close one.
Yeah.
Saku, this is your team. What do you think is going to happen?
It's gonna be tight. It's because you can't with Hearthstone Academy being at 4-0.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a 3-2 win for us. I'm just saying us because our hats get some kryptonite there for Based. Last quite a few matches. I got Zoroshio defeating Mako, and we got Wicked Good taking care of Ghost, and then I got Booza beating Starlax, and then I have Duin going 5-0 versus myself. But based off of his record in Wild, I'm sure he knows how to play Hearthstone in Standard as well. So,
well,
this is also going to be
4-0 for
streamed
nothing.
on Saturday. So you get
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that match is going
to.
But wait, Saku, if you're going to be on stream, who's going to be OPing?
Donde for Saturday.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Exciting. Yes. Has Donde gotten his power back, by the way?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, very happy to hear.
That is very good news.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say it now. Saku's predictions are the exact same predictions I'm going for. I love Based in Hat to pieces, but I have to give the slight edge to Hat. I don't bet against him for good reason. I do say, though, I will say I do love the fact that both of them are having fantastic seasons, and I love that one of them is going to at least be 5-0 after all this, and one of them is going to be 4-1 and still doing very well for themselves.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Zoroshio the edge over Mako. I think he's got momentum on his side. I think he's definitely going to start picking up the pace, especially with Paladin, in my opinion, getting a bit better. I think that's going to work to his advantage. Wicked Good versus Ghost, I'm just going to go purely off of records. I think Wicked Good's got more momentum on his side. Ghost did win last week, but he's still struggling a bit for the season. Starlax maybe might win this if he does more dance moves, but until I hear anything to indicate he is, Booze is getting the edge. And Saku, I love you, but I can't in good conscience bet against to win here.
Yeah, so should be good.
And lastly, Khell, what are your predictions?
All right, so I'm going with Hat in the 1 because, as you said, you don't bet against the hat. In the 2, I have Mako beating Zoroshio. In the 3, I have Wicked Good beating Ghost. In the 4, I have Boozosaurus beating Starlax. And in the 5, now, Saku, I want you to remember this. I have Saku ending Duin's reign of terror.
What? I knew that was happening, but I wanted to still ready myself.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
People for the win.
I have faith in my buddy Saku. I know he can do it. He's pulled off some crazy upsets before. This wouldn't be the first time. And
definitely.
I think
last year.
Yeah, so. Saku, remember that time you kept my team out of playoffs because you beat Quirky Turtle?
Yes.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah.
She hates it.
If
So not only is Saku gonna
Haley's got her revenge.
not only is Saku gonna end Duin's reign of terror, but he's gonna go for that BGH.
yeah, that BGH, that's the massive VGH.
That'd be pretty nasty, actually.
That would be.
It's easy. It's easy for me being at 50. So
That would be. Yeah, that would be in. Honestly, I don't know if that would be possible to actually beat that BGH.
It might
close.
be.
It might be.
It's close, yeah. But
It's
so
definitely gonna be up there for sure.
Yeah.
So I have it going 3-2 to the pod people.
Nice.
Okay, so I think let me see if I have that correct. So all of us have all of us except for Feesh have pod people winning.
Yes.
Interesting. I mean, in fairness though, all of us have let me see if I have that correctly.
3-2.
No, okay. So like but with Feesh, like we have like when it comes to like compare his predictions to mine and Saku's, the only match that we're predicting differently is the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Everything else we're predicting is the same. So definitely some close matches and definitely some common predictions. Next up, we have match 2, drop table teams versus hot zilfs. And before you get into this, Khell, it should be noted there's actually 2 matches that have been played on this, not just one. HPWE unfortunately swept Rabobson earlier today. And as Rabobson had eloquently put it, you know what? I gotta just find that post quickly because I don't think I should paraphrase him. 1 sec.
why not?
See. Here we go. How not to hit 550. Ban a class your opponent didn't bring and then get swept.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Rebob
Yeah.
banned a class that wasn't up for grabs. So.
Yep.
Yeah, Agent had all 4 to play with.
I mean, I'm glad he was a good sport about it.
Definitely.
But I thought that was. I'm glad we all like got some humor out of that. But yes, drop table teams is now up 8-0. Khell, now you may continue.
Well, that screws up my predictions.
Yeah, that screwed up all our predictions.
I was going to say.
Well, actually, no, it doesn't, because I had drop table teams winning, drop table winning anyway. But so I had Glauco winning in the 1. I had Rebob winning in the 2. Sadly, that did not happen. I had Pasca in the 3 because I saw the result and I didn't want to look stupid by putting Donde.
Even though we probably, let's be honest, we would have predicted Donde. We all know that.
No, I think I actually would have picked Pasca this week.
Really? Okay,
yes.
fair enough.
I have Anful continuing his reign of terror in the 4, and then Snake beating Jimfalos in the 5. And I had it 3-2 to DTT, but it could go 4-1. With
That's fair.
Rabobson,
That's fair.
with
Yeah,
Rabobson losing to PWE here.
I will say, I think, even though I think the Anful versus Mojo Powell is a very close call, because those are both really strong 4 seeds, I do think that Anful is going to continue that reign of terror, especially because you know now that they're down 8-0, he's going to be super motivated to like keep that streak going.
Absolutely. And honestly, I mean, I could see a world where Jimfalos upsets Snake Pods. I just don't know if that's going to be this week.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. It's also hard to in general pick against drop table teams right now because they've got such a huge lead that like 8-0 is always problematic because there's always a good chance that even if they like don't win any of the next 2 matches, they still win it all. You know, or they tie it.
Yeah.
You know? Like 8 points is not the easiest deficit to overcome, even with 3 matches left. So we're gonna have to see how doable that is.
Yeah, definitely.
Feesh, what are your predictions for this one?
So, I won in the 1 seed. I'm gonna pick No Glauco. I'm not picking against No Glauco, even if he's probably not gonna win. So I'm picking No Glauco. I already knew that Rebob won. I already knew that Rebob had lost to Agent.
Right.
I'm picking. Hold on. Oh yeah, Donde's match already decided. Anfall and Snake fought, so 4-1 for drop table.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a 3-2 drop table. I just think that, what was it? I think Coles is going to beat No Glauco, but I think Snake Fods is going to win in the 5 and Anfil's going to win in the 4. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
I would like to see Zilfs at least put up a decent score for the week.
Definitely.
But this could end their hot streak, pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
Saku, what about you?
It's no Glocko winning. Had Rebob winning. Pasca defeating Donde. 3-0. Exactly. That's how I thought it came out. And then we got Anfo keeping his undefeated streak going. And Sneak Vod. So I got 3-2 drop.
Which is now really 4-1, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I would have had my week.
I mean, it's a rough situation, but I mean, I do like to see the drop table teams who are looking super strong. I'm kind of shocked that they're 2-3 right now.
Yeah, I know that. I was talking to No Glocko, and he wasn't so sure about his team after last week about like their direction, but this week they've completely turned it.
I was gonna say 8-0.
Yeah. He was like, man, I got the win, but it's kind of not great to see the rest of your team lose. So this week it looks like they're showing up. They're right back where they were in the beginning of the season, at least with their score. So good on them.
4 points
Yeah.
right now.
I would say
the 2 and
I
3
would also
record.
say though
It's
that I don't
crazy.
think they should be so hard on themselves, considering that
Yeah.
the team they lost to last week was HSA.
Yeah,
You know, that's very tough. But
definitely.
but yeah, moving on. Match 3. Dad Legend versus Good Luck Albatrosses, who are now back after having the bye last week.
Mhm.
This one is going to be interesting because both these teams have 3 losses. They're both looking to really make a push and see if they can, really make a playoff push and try to gain some momentum on their side. They've, Good Luck Albatrosses. They got their first win right before their bye week. And now I'm interested in seeing if this is the week where, especially for Mike V and Chewbacca, if they're going to turn things around. Honest Zabe, obviously, he got his first win last week. We'll see if he can carry that momentum. I'm very torn on this one. I'm gonna say that despite how good Zabe is, I think Lotus Knight is also a very, very strong 1 seed, and I think Lotus Knight's going to take it in the 1. I think Skittles is going to take it in the 2. I think Yellow Dart is going to take it in the 3. Your Mum Kid is going to take it in the no. No, I'm going to give it to Mike V in the 4 because I really want to see him get his first win, even against a challenging 4 seed like your Mum Kid. And then I say Chewbacca takes over Clarity, so 4-1 GLA. It probably really should be 3-2, but I really want to see GLA make a comeback. Whoever wants to go next with their predictions.
Sure.
Khell wants to go.
So I had Lotus Knight winning in the 1, Skittles winning in the 2, Yellow Dart winning in the 3. I have Mike upsetting Mum
Your Mum Kid.
Kid.
Your Mum Kid.
Your
Yep,
Mum
Your
Kid.
Mum Kid.
I always struggle to read that name.
Yeah.
We
I think
all
Mike-
do, believe me. And I've played him 3 times already.
I've got Mike picking up his first win this week, and then Shu winning in the 5, so that gives it 3-2 to GLA.
Nice. Yeah, this is going to be pretty exciting, I think. Both of these teams, I think, they're in very similar positions. So the outcome is definitely going to be very interesting no matter who wins.
Definitely.
What do you got, Fish?
Oh, I have I have Lotus taking it in the 1. I have Mr. Oh No You Mayana Don't in the 2. I'm
I love it.
giving it to Wild 9 in the
Hold on a second. Continue. We actually have a match result.
Oh, do
I
we
forgot
have a
to
match
check
result?
before.
Do we?
Yes,
Okay.
we do. Shu taking it in the 5, 3-1 against Clarity.
All right.
So
That's
GLA is up 4-1 to start.
awesome. Yeah, I can
I'm glad I predicted that.
Yeah, let go ahead and refresh that then.
But now we've accounted for all the matches that have already been played this week in Legacy. So
Now
at least for a gold, they're accounted for. So we're all set.
So look at that. Live results coming up on the screen. Good win for Shu. I had Wild 9 taking it in the 3. I picked your Mum Kid in the 4, and I actually did pick Shu in the 5. To go 3-2 GLA.
Can't confirm.
GLA is, they are the defending. Or they made the finals, or they at least made a deep.
So
They've at least made a deep playoff run, right?
they made it. They were the first place team going into playoffs
That's what it
last season,
was.
but they unfortunately lost in the first round.
That's right. That's right. They were really hot in the season and fizzled out in playoffs. And I
To quote Lotus Knight, they shit the bed the last week.
yeah, but they do not do that this week. 3-2. Good luck, Albatrosses. And Saku.
I got LK beating Honest Abe. I got my Anodon defeating Skittles. Yellow beating Wild 9. Your mom kid beating It's Me, Mike V. And then I got Shu winning 3-2 for D to the L. Good old dad legend coming through.
All right. Any thoughts on
Good
that
stuff.
one before we move on to the last match of Red? All right, so we're gonna move on.
Right, Khell, I think you're the only one, right? Who didn't?
Saku. This one's
No,
for.
I did mine.
This is for Saku.
Okay, so last one, the Stubbs versus Saranite Pang Gang. Saku.
All right, so we got Snake playing Rescue Rabbit or Wabbit. I keep on messing that up. The Big
We're
Ted
all
playing...
doing that. I
Black
used to play
Swan.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Where Rescue Rabbit was a card too.
Yeah. They've got Oz, aka Dark Hawk, playing Loomer, and then we have Kurufenway versus Darkseid, and then we have Quaz playing Swashbuckler. So my prediction is going to be SBG is going to get a win over the Stubbs, with Snake winning, Ted winning, Lemur winning, Darkseid winning, and Swash defeating Quaz.
So 3-2 SPG. That's a quite an upset.
Yep.
Hell,
I mean, I would love to see these guys get a win, but I'm too attached to Oz and the Stubbs to go against them on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I'm gonna say Snake, Big Ted, and Kerr Finway are gonna take it for the Stubbs, and then Lemur and Swashbuckler are going to take it for SPG. So 3-2 Stubbs. Sorry, Oz. I don't want to bet against you, but it's hard. Like I'm betting against it's my two of my favorite captains playing against each other. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. And Khell, what do you have?
So I have Snake beating Rescue Wabbit. I have Ted beating Black Swan. I have Oz beating Lemur. I have Darkseid beating Kira Finway, and Quaz beating Swashbuckler for a 4-1 in favor of the Stubbs.
Ooh, nice. All right, I think we can work with that. Yeah, that definitely seems pretty spicy. The Stubbs really definitely want a big win this week to put themselves back in strong contention for playoffs for sure. Like that's always the pressure of being 2-3. You kind of know that you want to avoid being put in the 2-4 position because it's definitely a lot easier to make playoffs if you have like a 5-3 record as opposed to a 4-4. So at this point, you don't want to take any more losses. Feesh, what about you?
All right. So in the 1 seed, I am going against the grain again in the 1 seed. I'm picking Rescue Wabbit to get a win on the board. I know they're playing a very good player in Snake, but I'm gonna say they get the win. I'm gonna pick Big Ted from our saloon show. I'm gonna pick Ted. I'm picking Lemur in the 3. Picking Roofinway in the 4 and Swashbuckler in the 5. So that's a 3-2 for the Stubbs from me. It's gonna be a close. Should be a good week between these two.
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Mhm.
And now we move on to the Red Conference. Starting off, this is arguably one of the most exciting matches of the entire week. Always Top Deck Lethal versus Defias Brotherhood. Khell, take us away.
Absolutely. So, in the 1, we have Ron Mexico versus Clone. In the 2, we have Pond or Free Hong Kong against Easy Break. In the 3,
Easy break.
Break. I don't know what happened there. It's Bake for sure.
It is.
In the 3, we had A2 Battleship against Comp. In the 4, we have Matty Ebbs versus Neb Canuck. And in the 5, we have Shansui against Timothy Chambers.
So, Khell, what are your predictions? Come on, say
so
it. Say it.
I have ATL going 5-0 actually.
Whoa!
That's
I have. I legitimately think this could be a 5-0.
Some spankings from ATL.
I'll be honest. The only reason that is like, I mean, I can picture it, but you look at Defias Brotherhood, and as I said before, they're the only team in red that has less than 2 losses. They're in a really strong position right now.
So
and
far.
and I just feel like I feel like that's they've got all this momentum on their side. I don't know. I could definitely see ATL beating them, but 5-0. I mean, oh, I don't know. All right, Feesh, Saku, go with your predictions. I'm still trying to figure out what I think is going to happen here.
all right. So in the 1 seed, I am picking Ron Mexico, gonna continue that hot streak and move to 3-3 on this season. In the 2 seed, I am picking Easy Bake over Pond. Easy Bake has now won 2 weeks in a row, with solid wins over Dragon Rider, who is my team's 2 seed. Very, very fantastic player, and picking up the win last week. So yeah, I am going to believe in Easy Bake that he takes it this week. I'm going to pick A2 in the 3, Matty Ebbs in the 4, and in the battle of 2 people that I've both lost to this season, one who sent me to the Shadow Realm in the man, the myth, the legend, Shansui, and we have Timothy Chambers. I'm going to pick Timothy Chambers to win this. I'm going to go, it's 3-2 for Always Top Deck Lethal.
Yeah, I'm definitely agreeing there. I think it's going to be 3 ATL. I think Ron, A2, and Matty Ebbs are going to take it for this one. A2 in the 3 seed is absurd on several levels.
Oh yeah.
Ron, I think, has got his groove back, his mojo back. I think he's going to beat Clone. I do think Easy Bake is going to take it in the 2. Pond is a solid player, but I think Easy Bake has his number.
Mm-hmm.
I do not bet against my boy Matty Ebbs in the 4. He is, in my opinion, one of the best 4s, right up there with Anful. And for the sake of keeping it close, I could easily see the Shunsui Timothy Chambers match going either way, but I'm going to give it to Timothy Chambers to keep things a little closer. So 3-2 ATL.
Looks like we're all caster cursing ATLs. Because I got ATL winning 4-1 with Ron with the win.
Oh, Saku, the caster curse isn't real.
It is today. Then we got Pond winning.
I would say you guys have tried
winning.
to curse me, but that hasn't worked.
Neb
You've bet against me several times.
And then we got Shun coming out of the Shadow Realm from last week to put some hurting on Timothy Chambers.
I do love that's like the running joke with him. He's going to send you to the Shadow Realm. I genuinely love that so much.
It's fantastic. Love it.
As a former Yu-Gi-Oh player, I love that.
Yeah.
It makes me look back on it with less frustration.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So everybody went through their predictions, right?
Yeah. We're gonna move on.
All right, moving on.
Next
Match 2. Now, this is the most exciting match we're going to talk about tonight,
This
actually.
is.
Because, well, it involves Feesh and I.
Yeah.
Amberflight Gaming versus Illy Dilly Death Knights. I gotta say, so first of all, this match has this series has 2 matches that have been played. In addition to the 3 seed match being played, Neji Boston played against Plants, and Neji won 3-2. Close, but no cigar for us. I really wanted that win.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. We're at least keeping it interesting.
Yes,
So
we are.
I like that. Yeah, after last week, we're just like coming in with like we're going full force. We're gonna take this. I was very anxious to play Bitbeaker. This was gonna be I knew this that even though he was just coming into the 3, like he's got this momentum, he's definitely going to make me work for that win. And our games were very close. There were some nail biters for sure. The 3-0 score does not reflect the intensity of those games for sure. I've said that about like all of my wins the past 3 weeks. Like they've all been sweeps, but they were very close games overall. Um, and yeah, I'm very I don't know why I'm 5-0 this season. I'm just gonna say that I have no idea why that's happened. I never had a start like this and like first I had my first 3-0 start, then I had my first 4-0 start, now 5-0, and I'm just like, okay, I'm somebody is eventually gonna break that winning streak for me, but I have no idea when. Every time I think it's gonna end, I somehow surprise myself. So it's 6-4 right now, IDK. The remaining matches are Dragon Rider versus Marty B, Christine versus Swelly, and of course Doctorfeesh versus Jerry Damage. So I'm of course going to say that my team wins 4-1 because you know that's how I roll.
Works.
Yeah,
It works.
I'm just
I also just genuinely feel pretty good about all of these matches. Like I don't feel like we can't lose or anything like that, but I feel very good about all my players' abilities to win these, including Swelly finally picking up his first win. But I am glad if at least he loses, Christine is going to get her first win of the season. So, it's a win-win of sorts.
yeah.
Fish, what do you have to say?
Well, you're saying it's pretty obvious. I'm picking obviously gonna go 4-1 for my team.
I mean, I'm obviously going to mirror what you're doing.
Yeah, we're gonna JR and I are mirroring each other this week. I'm picking 4-1 for Amber Flight. Dragon Rider versus Marty B is such an interesting matchup. They are both such good players. That's gonna come down to the wire. We have Christine versus Swelly. Christine playing in the 4. I think she'll have a bit more luck here. If she does win, she might actually move back up to the 3, but I have faith in her. She
probably would.
She has had 3 weeks of 3-2 matches, and they've all been so close. And so I just think that she's gonna get over the hump this week. And obviously, if Christine doesn't win, then Swelly gets his first win of the season, which is equally as nice to see. And
right, exactly.
Jerry versus myself, I think, is going to be very close. For sure, I'm confident in my play, especially after winning last week. So yeah, I think this is going to be a great match.
I will just say, Jerry has been practicing. He's lost the last 2 weeks, so he is determined to bounce back this week.
Oh,
so
definitely. I wouldn't
he's
expect
not
anything.
and he's not underestimating you whatsoever.
No.
Bear that in mind.
Yeah, I'm not either.
He's aware of your big victory against lefties, so that's definitely fueling him to like practice and be as prepared as he can be.
That's good. That's very good.
I'm just definitely anxious if this match is going to come down to Christine and Swelly because they're the last match to be played.
Yeah. So
we shall see. But now Saku, Khell, I'm curious as to your predictions.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Sure. So I have Plants winning in the 1, which I was wrong. I had Dragon Rider in the 2. I had Chris. I'm reading the wrong thing. I had Jugger in the 3, which I was right. But I didn't actually look at.
I was going to say, did you know that already?
No, I actually didn't. I didn't look at the result.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then I had Swelly in the 4 and Jerry Damage in the 5, giving it 4-1 to Death Knights. However, with Plants losing, I guess that would change it to a 3-2.
Yeah. So it still works out.
Yeah.
Saku, what about you?
3-2 IDK. So Neji winning, Marty winning, JR winning, Swelly getting his first win, and then Fish defeating Jerry.
I gotta ask, Saku, would you still have bet on me if you didn't already know the match results?
I actually picked it before.
Yeah, Saku had all this stuff written down, but when I looked, yeah.
That's fair. I can believe that because, like, I mean,
If you look at my
you're
last
not
couple
looking
picks,
to cast or curse me every chance you get. So I believe that. Sometimes you'll bet on me.
yeah, like the last 2 weeks, I've bet for you.
That's
So.
true. Oh, that's right. No, I'm getting confused. It was other people who bet against me. You were the one 2 weeks ago. Everybody except for you bet against me. So I do appreciate the support, Saku.
See, there you got you.
Also, fun facts: when the Hearth Center player rankings came out last night, Neji was number 1 on the list, and I was number 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Saw that.
Yeah, you
So I
guys
found
are.
that pretty interesting. Like that now our teams are playing against each other this week when that came out. I thought to myself, is it possible I will like overcome Neji? But like, nope, not quite. But
Nope, not this week.
he definitely deserves to be 6-0, no doubt about it.
Mhm.
You definitely deserve to be 5-0.
Well, no, he's 6-0 now.
No, I'm talking about you.
Oh,
I said
well,
you. I said you
thank-
deserve your. Yeah.
Oh well, I appreciate that. I have never had the joy of doing this well, so I'm definitely holding on to that feeling for now.
Nice. Alright,
But now to get onto something only slightly less exciting. Dirty Mike and the boys versus Chop Saku.
We got Fuel taking on Liquid Ox. We got Tony Montana taking on Mark Shire. Astro Frog, undefeated Astro Frog, going up against 3-1 Durden.
He is on a tear in both Hero and Legacy this season.
Yeah,
It's
he's
insane.
tearing up the carpet.
It's
so.
like he took all the momentum he piled up from the second half of last season
Mhm.
and then just like multiplied it by 5.
Mm-hmm.
I
Kind of
feel
helps
like that's
when you
the
have
best
an
way to put
all-star
it.
sister. So
Yeah.
it's good.
That's true.
Base.
I mean, having
brother.
based as a sibling is not a bad thing.
Nope.
But I specifically remember how like he really turned it around after a rough start in the 5 last season in Legacy, and
Yeah.
now here he is 4-0. Like,
Wrecking
Awesome.
it in the 3 seed for sure. So
yeah, exactly.
So we got Surlos and Scritch going off on the battle of the 1-3s, and then we got Lefty versus Sharkbait. Hoo ha ha. So
Who, as we will remember, is Quaz's girlfriend.
right. So my predictions are Fuel because he's a bum. He should win that one.
Ah,
Yeah.
Markshire
Still
should
funny.
win. Durden, Scritch, Lefty. So I got 3-2 to the Chop.
God, this one's hard.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good.
I'll let you go next.
Okay. I'm gonna take Fuel in the 1. Fuel had an extremely close series with Neji last week, so that just even solidifies more that he's a really good player. And it's gonna be tough. Him and Ox is gonna be a super good match. I would not be surprised if Liquid Ox wins. I'm picking Markshire.
Yeah.
Picking Markshire in the 2. I'm going with Astral Pog in the 3, continuing the run. Going 5-0. I'm gonna say I picked Scritch over Surlos and Lefty over Sharkbait.
Yeah.
So that's a 3-2 for Dirty Mike and the boys. Bouncing back after last week.
Oh, this is hard. I'm definitely gonna say Markshire wins the 2, Astral Frog in the 3, though I could see Durden pulling out the first loss for Astral Pog over here. Scritch taking in the 4 and Lefty taking in the 5. So it's really going to come down to the 1 seed for me. This is hard. I mean, Liquid Ox is great, but Fuel's a bum, which should be a bad thing, but it actually works to his advantage, right, Saku? Am I doing it right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I can't decide. I'm gonna all right. I'm gonna say Fuel takes it. Dirty Mike and the boys 3-2.
So
This is hard.
quick side note. Lefty and Sharkbait are playing right now.
Oh,
I
okay.
have insider information. I happen to be in the DMV Discord.
Nice.
Ooh.
So they are going to game 5. right now.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh my.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Wait.
I
hang on,
almost.
could
I
be wrong.
actually almost picked.
Yes. No. They're
almost-
going to game 5.
I almost picked an upset for Sharkbait. To be honest. But I'm sure Lefty's gonna want to win after losing to me last week.
I was gonna say. Well, the thing is, though, I was talking to Lefty. Like, he's definitely not upset having lost to you,
No.
but he definitely I think he definitely does want to like just bring it back. Like, all right, we lost last week. Let's get back on the winning record track.
Yeah, for sure.
So I had Fuel in the 1, Markshire
Yep.
in the 2,
Yep.
Durden in the 3,
What?
Serlos in the 4, and Lefty in
What?
the 5, giving it 3-2 to Dirty Mike and the boys.
Okay, that's actually not that surprising, really. But
No, yeah.
yeah, no, I think that's fair. I'm curious. Do you have any specific reasoning why you think Durden's gonna beat Astropog?
Because it's Durden, man.
Durden's really good. Don't get me wrong. It's just again, Astropog is on like if Astrofrog wasn't doing so amazingly in Hero 2, I'd be like, I think that's probably possible. But he's just wrecking everybody, and I'm not just saying that because he swept me in Hero and made me feel so demoralized.
Durden's the name, Crushing Dreams is the game.
You're probably right about that.
Durden's
To be
a
fair.
super good player, yeah.
He is very solid for sure.
Mhm.
All right. And Saku, did you already? Oh no, Saku already went. So we're moving on.
Okay,
I think I'm the only chop person that's
Yeah, I mean it's really close though. I think this one is really hard to call. I don't think there's anyone who feels super confident that one's going to win over the other because it's like I feel like every single one of the only match I feel fairly confident is of which way it's going to go is Markshire versus Tony Montana, honestly.
Yeah.
Like even Astrofrog versus Durden, I think like is pretty close. I'm just like slightly leaning towards Astrofrog because of how well he's doing in Hero as well.
Mhm.
So we'll see.
I can tell you that Hero and Legacy are two completely different monsters.
No. You're right. But I bring it up more so because I think it really shows a reflection of skill when you can succeed that well in such different formats simultaneously.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like doing one well in one doesn't obviously mean it's going to translate into the other. But I think it does show a strong understanding of the meta and the decks in play when you're able to do well in the, two different formats within that meta. So I think Astro Frog is onto something. And lastly, final match from Gold, and our final match for tonight: Anoyo team versus Chaos Theory.
All right, so
Feesh.
we have a mage versus Notorious GHP in the 1 seed. We have Catharsis versus Isocles in the 2. Mad at Arms versus Risen. Zathune versus Jester, which we already have results for. And Totino's versus Silver T Fox Demon.
Oh, right, we did that already.
So I have gone for a mage in the 1. I am going for Isocles in the 2. I'm taking perhaps in a slight upset. I have Mad at Arms winning over Risen. I have
I think that's an upset. Yes.
yeah. And we know Zathune has already won, and I'm gonna take Silver in the 5. Mostly on record and also having lost to Silver earlier this season. So in the battle of THL POW, I'm taking a 3-2 for Anoyo, and I am taking both of them to win their matches. And so, yeah. What I got? What do you guys got?
Oh, this one's tough. Saku, what are you going with?
4-1 Chaos Theory.
Wow.
So I got GHP defeating Homage, Isocles beating Catharsis, Risen beating Mad at Arms. Zathun that saw that match. I didn't see it, but I saw the result. So
Yeah.
then have Silver defeating Totino's Pizza.
Okay. I mean, I think Chaos is a really good team. It's just when you like, you gotta for me, it's like I gotta consider when they won last 2 weeks ago. They broke an 11-week losing streak carried over from last season. 11 weeks.
Yeah.
It was rough for them. So I really do feel good about like their ability, but I mean, we'll have to see what happens. So, Khell, what about you?
Yeah, so I have Amaj taking the 1 because of the spicy shaman pick mostly.
That's fair, and it's a mage. A mage.
Okay, Mage, my bad.
No
But I
problem.
have him in the 1. I have Icicles in the 2, Risen in the 3, Zathund in the 4, and Silver in the 5, giving it 3-2 to Chaos Theory.
I'm gonna go a similar route. I'm gonna say, what was the direction I was gonna go in? Yeah, I'm gonna say, a mage wins it in the 1. Actually, yeah, I was gonna say the same thing as Khell. A mage in the 1, Isaacles in the 2, Risen in the 3, Zethund already won in the 4, and Silver in the 5. I think it's funny how, despite the fact that Chaos Theory are starting off down 4-1, we're all predicting them to win 3 of the next 4 matches. So, we'll see if that comes true. And Feesh is the only one predicting a Noyo team, but I mean, they pulled off a win against us. They're definitely not out of it. It was definitely a momentous win for them. So we'll see where they go. I felt like after last week before last week they were kind of down and out, but Red just keeps showing how close it is. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for this. So I think. So that covers with the matches for next week. I don't think we do we have any questions? Did we get any?
I didn't get any in Discord myself, so
Nobody
you have a
messaged
quiet night.
me. Does anybody in chat want to ask questions? Because otherwise, we're probably gonna have to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we
I
can
have,
just go over.
I have a question.
Sure.
Go for it.
Are you, in fact, a doctor?
Oh gosh. Getting called out again on this? No, I'm not.
Hey, he didn't. I don't think I didn't tell
Oh.
him that I already called.
Oh, Claus? Claus says he has a result from the chop match.
Yep, Lefty
Oh,
lost.
we have a
Ooh,
result.
shark bait.
Lefty lost.
Ooh.
Ooh-ha-ha.
Oh,
Shark bait.
wow.
Ooh ha ha. All right, let's go.
Remind
Lefty,
and as we said, this Quaz knows because this is his girlfriend, so
Yes.
of course he knows.
So
Quaz,
Lefty,
here's a question: How proud are you? How proud are you that she took down the legendary Lefty?
Yeah.
That's what I want to
And
know.
over BGH'd me. Awesome.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, she has a lesser PR than I did when I beat Lefty.
I forgot. Well, but to be fair, Lefty also had less PR this week
You're right.
because of his loss from you. So
That's
it's
true.
a little hard to gauge that.
That's whatever.
We'll have to do the math.
I was 177 point difference.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at this quickly out of curiosity because.
by the way, Quaz and myself are playing our hero match tomorrow.
So this is 100. Oh
On
my
stream.
god.
Oh,
Feesh,
nice.
How much did you say of a difference it was?
177.
Okay, she just missed you. 172.
Ooh, wow. Yeah. That's
She would have beaten you if Lefty didn't lose last week.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't have been in contention at that point.
That's fair.
But yes, super congratulations to Sharkbait on that win. And yeah, Khell, I'm unfortunately not a doctor. However, BOMD is indeed a doctor. So you have at least one doctor.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Since there's a lawyer in the call here,
Yeah.
Are you aware, is it a federal offense to impersonate a doctor?
It is. I did know that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I love how he found a way to turn my into as a subject of this.
Yeah, that's great.
He's not wrong. That is
No,
relevant.
he's not. Yeah, it is relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't fault him for that.
As I was saying before, Quaz and myself will be playing our hero match tomorrow at 10 p.m. EST on stream. So
Nice.
Ooh, that'll be fun. Oh yeah, so let's quickly go over the matches for tomorrow. Sorry, for this weekend, because there are a bunch. We did say as we said before, we're looking for a 9 p.m. match for Friday night fights. But we do have a couple matches. Saku, do you mind if I go through the announcements overall?
Yeah, go right ahead.
So for tomorrow, we've got Friday night fights with Brushy Tuna and friends. We're going to be starting off at 8 p.m. with Pro Series match of obviously from Bad to the Bone versus Heat Shock of the Mosh Weishas. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's a great
That
match.
sounds like an awesome match.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that this is going to be on stream. I don't know if I'll get the chance to watch it live, but I'm certainly going to watch the VOD. My God. And as I said, 9 p.m. If anybody wants to play tomorrow night, please take care of that. Please fill that spot.
Yep.
And then, of course, as Khell said, his match with Quaz from Ask HS versus the Cult, that is going to be at 10 p.m. For Schoolstone this week, we've got some exciting ones. We're continuing our tradition of trying to have one standard match and then one wild match for each session. So at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to have Astrofrog of Dab on them versus G Kick of the Transfer Students. This is basically two like all-star caliber hero players going up against each other. You are not going to want to miss that.
Nope.
And then at 4 p.m. from Wild Series Green Conference, we have Itachi of F2L Viridian versus Trolldan of the Diamond Club, which Itachi's kind of a beast. I'm very curious to see how Trolldan is going to hold up.
Yep.
Saturday night, we've got Donde and Friends. It's going to be starting off Legacy Dewin versus Saku, which wait, you guys got the sorry. They wrote this down wrong. It's going to be Hearthstone Academy versus Pod People. And then Pro Series, we're going to have a pretty exciting match, I got to say. Neji Boston of Aeon versus McBanterface of Hype Horizon.
I'm so hyped for this
I mean,
match.
That's the thing. Hype Horizon, even the other players besides Liquidox, I think they're very it's very exciting to watch them play, knowing that they're all like top legend players. They're all like really well established. McBanterface, I've actually followed a little bit on, I think from social media or other stuff. And Neji Boston, like he's proven to be one of the best players in THL right now. I'm very excited to see how he's going to hold his own.
Mhm.
And Aeon, just looking to get a big win for Aeon. And finally, Sunday Showdown, Doctorfeesh and Friends. We are going to have Hero Series, Ron Mexico versus Medusas. I still can't believe for the life of me that Ron's a 3 seed. Somebody needs to fix that. I had to play him last week, and I loved the opportunity, but it didn't feel fair. I haven't watched Saloon from that week, but I'm very confident that everybody bet against me, and I don't blame them. I don't. But then following that, we have an equally exciting match from the Legacy Gold Conference, Based Inc. versus R-Hat. We kind of talked about this before. I'm stoked for this. I'm going to watch this live. I can't wait for that.
That is probably the match of the week right there. The only other match I think I really want to see streamed is Fuel versus Liquidox.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
It's funny to me because Based is a really good player, but she's really, I would say she's done a great job of consistently improving over the past couple seasons.
Yeah.
Like she was playing in the 3 seed in Hero last season, proved everybody she was way better than a 3 seed. And then for Legacy, she was fluctuating a fair bit, but then she kind of eventually just settled into the 1. And we've seen this season that's really where she's been, and she's been holding her own fantastically. So obviously she's got a very impressive PR, but clearly I wouldn't be surprised if that PR goes up over time and she eventually hits that 550. She is more than worthy of getting there, and I'm sure everybody here will agree with me.
I'm
Based
100% say that she's going to
I mean, I'm still predicting R-Hat to win, but that really shouldn't take away from player Based is. That really shouldn't. And what an awesome member of the community she is. I really do want to emphasize that.
Yep.
Based is great, but Hat is...
Hat, again, you don't bet against Hat. But if anybody is going to end, I will say, if anybody's going to end his reign of terror, I would not mind it being Based.
Fair
I do have a problem with it being Hearthstone Academy, but I don't have a problem with it being Based herself. It's funny because Sage is amazing. I love the man to pieces, but 4 rings and possibly on the way to 5th. Holy crap. Like, I can't wrap my head around the fact that not only would this be their 5th ring, this would be their 2nd time getting back-to-back championships. 2nd time.
Sage knows how to build a team.
He does. It's incredible to me how amazing of a job
win
he's
in the
done and make
five,
all of his
bad.
teams kind of feel different from each other. So, but that's what we have coming up. I think it's going to be an exciting week. Again, if anybody wants to fill out that 9 p.m. slot for tomorrow, let us know. But
Yep.
we'll look forward to seeing all of you guys watching us next week, watching all the upcoming matches, and seeing what new hot takes and bad takes that we will have in store for you.
Especially me.
I was gonna throw myself under the bus, Feesh, but okay.
Yeah. Well, I did say 5-0 Bloomers, and they lost pretty bad. So
Hey, I said
I'll take it on the
5-0
chin.
ATL, so we'll
You
see
did,
how that
yeah.
goes.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to look
I
look
was
at these predictions next week.
I was super happy to be closer to 5-0 for my team than not last week.
It's fair.
Yeah,
You guys did go 4-1.
we did go
But-
4-1.
But it is after 10 o'clock. I think it is about time we call it.
Rock
Thank
and
you
roll.
all to everybody who came, who showed up for tonight's show. We'll of course be back here next week, same time, same place, and we'll hopefully bring more exciting content for you to enjoy. Thank you, Feesh, Khell, Saku, for showing up, and we'll see you all next week. Take care.
Hey, everybody.
Take care.
Hit the music.